Let's begin. One of the first, when I was asking, is I asked people who I write emails to what they would like for me to talk about, and I asked one of my groups on Facebook and some other people, and I got some really beautiful requests. And again, Patricia, I can see your circle here. I can see that you're here, and it would be so wonderful for us to be able to interact. Okay, so I'll just take it from there. So what Patricia did was, see, she is a highly conscious, she's very sensitive. She's an intuitive. And as I looked at Patricia's bio, the way that she was raised was in a very highly conscious home where energy healing and metaphysics, it was part of the day-to-day. She also loves to travel, and a big part of what she does with her time is she supports other people by giving them readings and healings as well. And Patricia is one of my favorite types of people to work with because, you know, really we have a lot in common, the same drive to facilitate others in healing and in having a great life. So when Patricia reached out to me, letting me know her specific situation, and it has to do with that she got really real with herself and checked in and noticed that she had some type of a belief, and we call this a limiting belief on why she wasn't able to be in her best relationship, in her dream relationship with. And what she unearthed about that was that there was some belief that maybe she was too conscious. Maybe women on our planet were too conscious to create these relationships that were really, that something that really reflected her soul's true essence and her consciousness. And she pinpointed this belief, and her question to me was like, how do I release it? What can I do? And since for whatever reason, Patricia and I, the technology gods aren't allowing us to talk, because I love interacting with people. What I can really say about this right now is that, first of all, Patricia, you're totally on the right track. Intention is everything. And our limiting beliefs, a limiting belief is definitely, it's something, okay, first of all, our beliefs are it's how we see the world. It's how we view the world. It is what we make up about anything that happens in our experience. A lot of these beliefs we're not even consciously aware of, because it's just our natural take on how we see anything. For instance, one person may see a couple like totally happy and in love and kissing and think, oh, that's so sweet, or that, that reminds me of my relationship. Or maybe they'll get really cynical and jealous and think, gosh, like, do they have to hug each other? And that comes from their experiences in a relationship. Or maybe it brings on like feelings of being sad or not good enough because it's not currently what you're experiencing at the time. These are all examples of limiting beliefs. And a belief is only limiting if it's stopping you from having what it is that you would like to experience in your relationship, in your love life, in your life as a whole. So when Patricia noticed that there was a limiting belief there, first of all, just to speak to her level of consciousness on this, most people, I don't think it's anybody who's tuned in for this talk, but most people who aren't getting what they want in their life or in their relationships, most of them immediately go into this place of thinking, oh, men, or the world is against me, or I guess God doesn't want me to have a relationship. I guess God wants me to be single. And these are things that a lot of people think. But so I want to ask you right now, to Patricia and anyone else who can relate to this, what in your relationship right now, I just totally lost my train of thought. I'm not gonna lie. So I guess it wasn't important for me to say that. But is there any part of you that feels like maybe you're supposed to be single, or that's the path for you? And I'm sure that that's something that's come up a little. And if you've ever thought that, that is a limiting belief, and that is an illusion. And a big part of the work that I do with people is uncovering these illusions, because just because we have not created something or experienced something yet, doesn't mean that we never get to have it. It simply means that for whatever reason, we are not currently aligned to what we want. And a lot of it might have to do with that, like, kind of a dysfunctional relationship with ourselves and our intention. It's like, oh, I want this so badly. I really, really want this. I want this relationship. And then it doesn't happen, or we start dating somebody and they start off really great at first. And then over time, things happen and we can start to get really, really discouraged about it. And when that happens, it's very easy to go into, well, I guess that the universe doesn't want me to be in a relationship, or why do I always attract this same type of person? And it can get really, really frustrating. So Patricia, I'm going to draw a card for you. And this card is from one of my favorite decks. It's the John Holland Psychic Tarot for the Heart. And what the card that I'm pulling for you is Take the Lead. Yeah. So this, since you are so highly conscious, this tells me that what you believe is truly running the show. And you get to be very crystal clear on what it is that you want. And just like how you uncovered that belief about your relationship, like that was totally taking the lead. That was being responsible. A huge part of soul level healing and of healing your broken heart or transforming your relationship karma is getting on an empowered path to healing. Because when we can accept that everything that's brought into our lives and into our relationships, our love lives, it's a reflection of who we are. It's what we're aligned to. It's the consequences of our choices. It's our karma, really. When we can really embrace that and accept that, we are taking the lead. And I get that this can be hard as a woman because, we would love for men to really take the lead too. And I love it when my husband holds the door open for me, and when he holds space for our relationship too. But I think that, Patricia, since you're so highly sensitive and intuitive and empowered, a lot of men, maybe they are afraid of taking the lead too much because they don't want to, they don't want to step on your toes or try, because you're somebody, you love to travel, you're free. It's almost like being overly politically correct, but in a relationship kind of a way. So I'm not saying, you have to plan the dates and all of that, like, because that would be like, that's not so much fun for you. But what I would suggest to you and anybody who's in a situation like you is that you take the lead, and you do this by, first of all, setting an intention within yourself. What do I want to experience on this date? What types of people do I want to connect with? Who do I get to be to connect with these people? What behaviors am I not going to put up with? Like, what are my red flag behaviors? This is like some boundary setting for you. And also, what am I willing to embrace about myself? Because when you can take the energetic lead, you'll be really amazed at the types of people that you can attract to you. And I would also take this a step further, and in your communication with people, that you let them know what you would like, and that you expect authenticity and open communication, and just kind of have fun seeing how that lands, and really allowing yourself to shine and stretching yourself in other areas that might be uncomfortable can allow other people to give that back to you. So, Patricia,